One of the things that I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is, this goes back a little bit to our discussion on the endocrine disrupting chemicals. When I travel a lot, Dr. Kaplan, and I stay in Airbnbs, people's homes, and the bed sheets have a lot of fragrances and shower products. I mean, all of them are just like traditional stuff from Walgreens or Walmart or wherever, with all the parabens and perfumes.
Right.
So I know that's a big part for women, right? Because a lot of women put on makeup and use these cleaning products. How big of a part, like in your therapy, of all the things that you...
I think, again, clients, again, each one is genetically different. So some might be able to metabolize it and it's not a problem. Others, like even the smallest amount of fragrance or whatnot, is going to cause a problem for them. So again, my protocol would be to always have someone on B vitamins, which help with methylation. And if they kind of have certain things in their history, I might improve their detox pathway, whether it's NAC or some other product that's going to upregulate phase 2. Mind body is huge too. So if you kind of like go into a room and it's like, holy Toledo's, there's all these bad things for me and like this doom and gloom, then likely you're going to have a worse outcome. Whereas if you're like, well, I'm doing the best I can, when I have my opportunity, I'm going to live cleaner, but there's situations where I can't control and it is what it is, likely you're going to be fine, right? I mean, like if we actually looked at all the all the toxins in our environment, it would be like, oh my God, I might as well kill myself because I'm going to die anyways, but
you got to deal with it.
Yeah, because when you start doing environmental medicine, it's like, oh my God, it's like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you shouldn't, eat fish, don't eat fish, yeah.
Even the air, I'm hearing the air as we're talking right now, and then you start to think like, oh my gosh, it's recirculating these compounds from outgassing and, compounds from the tile and building products.
Right.
But yeah, like you said, so you have to have an open mindset and really just control what you can.
Right.
Not be too neurotic about it. Yeah, that's really good. But I do see that with women though, a lot, the shampoos and cleaning products. So
Ideally, if they can buy products that are paraben free or fragrance free or whatnot, or use more essential oils, like there's so many ways to, avoid, but it takes a lot of work and it could be almost a full-time job, like, researching every product and whatnot. But hopefully the government with time is starting to, and I think also companies are kind of realizing that the consumer has the last say because whether they're going to buy their product or not. So I think there is a shift to sort of avoid some of those things. And it's not only women that have that problem, because men also. So basically what we see is, because I also worked at a fertility clinic, is that younger and younger men are coming in with lower testosterone levels. Like the gold standard used to be like 100 million sperm. Now it's like good enough you have 20 million sperm. Wow. And that's a huge difference in not a long period of time. And so what happens is when you have way more estrogen than testosterone, it actually causes a lot of problems with fertility. Also they tend to gain more fat. They aromatize their testosterone to estrogen. So they actually have low testosterone as well.
So you're seeing this in what, like mid-20s or early 30s?
I would say like starting in their 30s, yeah. So it's pretty sad, like, and it's interesting because when you work at the fertility clinic, it's kind of a marker of aging in a sense as well. Like I'll have people come in who are having difficulty and you look at them and, they say they're 30 and they kind of look 45. Like, so I think our environment and, the way we eat and do all these things is aging us, and that has repercussions on our fertility.
Yeah, as a kind of a side note, I noticed in Ontario, people generally look younger outside of the city. I noticed that. I was in Elmira and St. Jacobs and these different smaller towns where there's the Mennonites, and a lot of local food, and some of the practitioners that I meet with just look amazing. They're in their late 60s and 50s and they look like they're 30. So it's really interesting, like you mentioned, that stress and the hustle and the artificial light. There's so many factors there.